All right, fuck boys. Sweet. We're fucking live streaming, baby. Let's see how it fucking looks. Looks solid. All right, we're gonna need some people to come in here and get the. Let me know how the audio is. Let's see. Sweet. We're fucking live streaming, baby. Live audio sounds fantastic, brother. Sweet. Well, let's start to answer. Let's start answering some fucking questions, dude. Okay. Little change of scenery here. All right, guys. I'm gonna sit here and fill up fucking space so the first few minutes aren't fucking boring. All right. Let's see some fucking questions. First of all, good to have you guys here, whoever's watching. We have two watching now, so that's pretty sick. I'm fucking famous, baby. Look at that. Two whole people watching. That's less than the FBI van outside watching me right now. But no shit, dude. When I posted that, so I posted a freaking black Suburban. I was out getting mail and I saw this freaking black Suburban. I'm like, oh, that's a fucking cop car, bro. So like a crackhead, I went to my backyard, which looks like that. Okay. Peeking over the freaking, look at that little cactus. Bob the cactus, bro. Look at that little gnome right there. See that? That's Bob the cactus and Bob the gnome. It's all Bob. All right. So yeah, I went over here, peeked over the freaking fence, bro. And I was like, I was watching, I was like, that's definitely a fucking cop, bro. Had the rims were the biggest telltale sign, and also the antenna poking out the top. So like a schizophrenic person, I watched him for like 20 minutes. And yeah, it was a dude came out, plain clothes cop, but with a sweatshirt that said K9. So I'm being watched. So I'll get to the first question. What is your opinion on 10 by 10s for lifting? German volume training, dude. So personally, I love it. It all depends on your goals. So if your goal is to, okay, so I guess I'll say a couple of things here. Obviously, the purpose of lifting right now is to get as big as possible. And that hasn't always been the case. In the past, it was a lot of things. I wanted to get in good shape. I wanted to be able to fucking grind, right? Because I was still in the infantry when I really got into like actual kind of bodybuilding. When I actually started lifting weights instead of just doing gay CrossFit. So I was doing a lot of German volume training. It's great, man. If you don't have a whole lot of time and you just want to freaking go pound out some reps, and especially for legs, bro, 10 by 10 with like 225. I don't care how strong you are or how in good a shape you are, like 10 by 10 with 225 with only a minute rest in between sets is going to absolutely fucking smoke your ass. Even doing body weight shit, bro, like just doing 10 sets of 10 body weight squats. I mean, you're going to feel that. So slapping 225 on the bar and banging those out, you're going to feel that. Even 135. When I first started doing German volume training, I was only able to really do 225 for back squat. So I was repping out 135 for 10 by 10. And man, I was feeling that. And it's a mental battle too. So, which is also a massive benefit for, in the gym. You train your mind as well, being able to push past those bitch blocks that you build up. You're like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. But you actually can do it. You realize how hard you can actually push yourself. And, going to the gym and training for size, you're not always able to train that part of your brain, doing like, 4 sets of 6 or 4 sets of 8 is going to be really fucking hard if you actually train yourself, right? And I mean, you're actually pushing hard, but I mean, there's nothing like banging out 10 sets of 10 and actually killing yourself the whole time. I mean, that trains your fucking mind for sure. So I love 10 sets of 10, man. And, there's no perfect program. The best program is the one you actually stick with. So, stick with fucking do 10 by 10, bro. I mean, you get an early pump, you get some good freaking, you get some good size out of it, dude, I find. Put that up a little bit. There you go. Favorite civilization in history and why? Germany during World War II because of Hitler. No. So favorite civilization in history and why? I don't really have a favorite civilization. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not going to hop on the whole Hitler bandwagon, but post Weimar Germany was pretty sick. I mean, just like post 9/11 in the United States, everybody felt like everyone was directed toward a goal. I mean, I was a child at that point, but everybody felt pretty unified. There was a lot of nationalism going on. And I feel like any period of history where, nationalism is a great thing because it brings people together. I mean, just like a home, man, when you're inside of your home and everybody's divided, you're not spending a whole lot of time with each other. You're all doing your own thing. It feels a lot different than when you're all in there working cohesively. I mean, hell, dude, if you have a girlfriend, bro, if anybody has a girlfriend or kids or anything, I mean, you know how it is, like the difference between, I mean, you know how it feels like to be accomplishing shit together. Like if you need to move out of a house in like a week or 2 weeks and you and your girl are just, busting your ass, trying to clean the place, working together to get shit done, selling stuff, whatever. I mean, it feels really good. So I think those periods, that's why, post-Weimar Germany was probably pretty fantastic, bro. Like the country was going through a lot of dark shit. I mean, people were selling their kids for money. I mean, transgenderism was on the rise. People were losing their national identity. Everything was just disgusting and depraved. I mean, it was like the sex capital of the world. People are going there to have sex with children. I mean, it was absolutely depraved and disgusting, bro. And people seeing their country like that and not being able to do anything about it is probably very depressing. And then having some guy pop up and be like, "Hey guys, I'm actually gonna fix this. I know that everybody kind of lost hope. I'm gonna cut through all the red tape and I'm gonna fix this shit, right?" And he did. And then what followed was what is still known as the Great Economic Miracle. That still is one of the sharpest increases in quality of life ever seen, if not the sharpest increase. It went from one of the poorest nations to one of the richest nations with the highest quality of living in a very short amount of time. And the way that he did that was he banned pornography, right? All that depraved pornography shit. He started cracking down on that, jailing pornographers. He banned usury, right? So you can't charge interest on loans. He implemented his own money system. And so loans you didn't get interest for. Also, there was if you got married, you got a certain amount of money to go buy a house. So housing was something that was actually a lot more affordable and was actually incentivized. Like if you got married and you had kids, you were able to get a house. And for every child you had, you got 25% knocked off of your, property tax. So, after 4 kids, you didn't have to pay property tax, it really incentivized that. So anyway, the country went from one of the poorest to one of the richest nations. And that was by bringing the people together, by taking out pornography and by getting rid of usury, which is probably pretty fucking motivating, in my opinion. So that's probably pretty badass, bro. Unfortunately, that's never going to happen again. I'm not saying, I love Hitler, I'm saying that he did a lot of good shit and that absolutely cannot be denied. I mean, you just look at the results of what he did. I mean, you can talk shit on the guy as much as you fucking want, bro. But in terms of in the beginning of his reign, in the beginning of his presidency, everybody was pretty fucking motivated, bro. He was a great public speaker. Everyone felt together. So that was probably a pretty damn motivating time to be alive. So that's my answer for that. You're my nigga. Thank you. You are also my nigga. Best beginner firearm. So best beginner firearm. Well, I started out with a 10 millimeter when I was 5 years old. So I was shooting, that thing was way too big for me. And it was really scary. So it kind of made me scared of shooting guns for a little bit. And then I went to a 38 stub nose revolver as well. So I would recommend those things. Though I think an A-frame revolver is a pretty good move, actually. There's nothing wrong with a revolver. 357 snub nose A-frame revolver, honestly, is a good fucking bet. Yeah, you can never go wrong with that. But I'd say a Glock. I mean, was it the 11? Not the 11X, but Glock 43X, the little compact Glocks, or SIG P365. I mean, I hate SIG, and all the people who carry SIGs just seem like they're cucks and they like getting pegged. But I don't really like SIGs. I'm Glock fanboy all day. And that's what I've been shooting for most of my life. So I'd say get a Glock 43X, especially if you're a girl, which you are, and you have small hands, which you probably do because you're a tiny girl. So go with the Glock 43X. You don't need a safety. So that's what I would say. I shot that thing and it was just fun to shoot. Yeah, go with the single stack compact pistol. Or just carry around bear mace, or just learn how to fight, because girls can definitely, if you learn kung fu and if you learn judo, you can definitely take on pretty much any size guy. Like watch the movie Black Widow. You don't really need a gun. You can just jump on guys' backs, put your legs in between their neck and spin around and break their necks and shit. It's not that fucking hard. So you don't even need a gun. Guns are for bigots and cowards. GOMAD diet, gallon of milk every day. No, definitely not. That sounds like I definitely don't think you could have a good relationship on a GOMAD diet. I think that you'd just be stinky and everybody would hate to be around you. That sounds like torture. I did something like that for a while and that was just not fun. I was drinking raw eggs and drinking like half a gallon of milk every day because I just like didn't have an appetite. So I was like, I'm gonna drink my calories. So, but I didn't have an appetite because I was drinking my calories and I was constantly inflamed all the time, drinking fucking whole milk and eating raw eggs. So once I stopped doing that, I could eat a lot more food. So yeah, GOMAD diet is stupid. You're going to end up pimply and stinky, and you're probably not going to see a whole lot of gains from that. So is running gay? It depends. Are you running toward your boyfriend or away from your gay thoughts? If you're doing that, then that's very gay. No, I don't think running is inherently gay. I think that most running clubs are. I think most running clubs are pretty cringy and stupid. So, but dude, honestly, do whatever the fuck you want. If you like running, do run. But definitely, no matter what, you should have some sort of foundation in strength training because you can run all fucking day, bro. But if you're gonna break like a wet noodle when somebody grabs you, great, dude, you can run, awesome. But what happens when somebody grabs a hold to you? You know what I mean? What happens when somebody grabs a hold of you? What are you gonna do? Run? No, you can't really run at that point. So I think in terms of just being able to be a capable man, I think that having a foundation in strength training as well as some sort of combat art, like even if it's just grappling, or slap boxing, I don't fucking know, but have some sort of foundation in something other than running. But running's great if you hate yourself. Biggest regret so far in life? Oh shit, we're getting deep, bro. Not investing in Bitcoin when I was a toddler, and instead drinking out of my mom's titties. That's my biggest regret. I should have been investing in Bitcoin instead of crying and sucking my thumb. No, you think it'd be prison, but it's not. When I pointed a gun at those innocent people, I mean that was terrible and all, but um, they're fine. I felt pretty horrible about myself after that, but that brought me out of a dark spiral that I was in. Um, I'm very blessed to have had that moment because it could have went a lot worse. I was facing 46 years in prison after that, which is fucking nuts. Woke up from a blackout, not even knowing what I did, and they're like, "Yeah, by the way, you're getting charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a weapons enhancement, and you're facing 46 years in prison." I was like, "What the fuck, bro?" So that was pretty shitty, but not the thing I regret the most. Um, I'd say the thing that I regret the most. Now we're talking about some dark shit here, bro. Huh. Honestly, bro, probably honestly watching porn when I was a kid, bro. If I'm going to be totally honest, I started watching porn at the age of 11, and that fucked my mind up probably more than anything, more than any of my childhood trauma, more than any of my bad relationships or drugs or anything, bro. Because that's just like a little portal to hell, bro. Pornography is. It opened my mind up to a lot of depraved shit, a lot of bad intrusive thoughts, and it messed up my whole relationship with myself and with women, bro, and how I viewed sex, how I viewed relationships. Um, and honestly, I mean, yeah, dude, that probably fucked me up more than anything. Um, Pornography. People don't realize how bad of an effect that shit has on you. I mean, especially when you start at a young age, bro. I mean, imagine you're 11 years old, 10 years old, and you're going into a mansion every day, and in each one of those rooms, you see somebody fucking, just doing some really messed up shit, and you just open it and you look at it, you stare at it. Your brain doesn't know the difference. I mean, you're literally traumatizing yourself. You're giving yourself sexual trauma by watching pornography. People don't realize it's that severe, but it is. I mean, the downstream effects it has in our society is honestly probably unfathomable. How human beings interact, how we view ourselves, how we view sex. I mean, everything, man. I mean, you cannot even comprehend how many downstream effects that shit has, how many ancillary effects it has in terms of like, your day-to-day life. So I'd say pornography is probably the thing that fucked me up the most. And I would say that that is my biggest regret. But um, yeah, besides that, not investing in Bitcoin when I was a fetus. What do you recommend for recovery and joint health? Would BPC 157 work? So yes, BPC 157 is amazing. I took it. So a little history. I've had a bunch of fucking knee injuries. I wrestled and blew my knee out when I was in high school. Lied about it to get in the Marine Corps. Just kidding. And my knee was just so jacked in the Marine Corps, man. It was so jacked up. I get out, I tear my knee again. I just feel a pop in my patellar tendon. Come to find out, it was already torn, and I tore it to the point where it was hanging on by a thread. It was like a 95% tear. With that 95% tear, I took BPC 157 because I couldn't walk, by the way, for like a week. And instead of going to the doctor, I was like, I'm gonna inject myself with stuff. And I injected myself with BPC 157 at 250 micrograms in the morning and 250 micrograms at night. And within a week, I was on the football field running routes faster than I ever have, feeling better than I ever have. So within a week or 2 weeks. So BPC 157 is amazing. Making sure you're not having to cut down the carbs and sugar and drinking. Nothing fucked my joints up more than drinking did. So I would definitely stay away from drinking, especially beer. Stay away from that because your joints are just going to be achy. Taking a supplement like fish oil, taking a decent amount of that, making sure that you're getting enough protein in because everything in your body is protein. So not getting enough protein, like all these ladies who have fibromyalgia, it's always old ladies. Every one of them's got fibromyalgia. I have fibromyalgia. Yeah, well, it's because you're not eating enough fucking protein, bitch. So what you need to do is you need to get some fucking protein in, okay, or your bone density is going to go down. So get protein, stay hydrated, get all of the nutrients you need. Don't be an idiot in the gym. If your knee bothers you, strengthen it. So Athlean X is a good dude to look up. Um, the fucking dude who does the ATL split squats or whatever the fuck. I forgot his fucking name, but look it up in rehab, bro, for your joints, like strengthening your glutes. If you're running, make sure you're running correctly. And yeah, BPC 157 is great. So is TB 500. And anything you can do to lower the inflammation in your body. Those are all great things. And when you're squatting or doing workouts, don't work out like a fucking idiot. Work out intelligently and wear a knee sleeve. And also making sure you're mobile and stretching and doing full range of motion. And yeah, and if your knee is hurting you a lot, do inflammation management. So heating pads are great. Stay away from painkillers and kratom. Stay away from any sort of painkiller, even if it's Tylenol or aspirin. Make that, treat yourself once a week with some aspirin on a leg day. Just the smallest dose of aspirin on a leg day. Treat yourself because what's going to happen is your body's going to get a baseline. Like I don't know how people take fucking painkillers every day, like aspirin or ibuprofen. I don't think you understand how bad that shit is for you, dude, and how stupid and useless it is. I mean, you're destroying your body for no reason. I mean, your body gets used to that amount. Your receptors um, become more sensitive, and you end up feeling the same amount of pain. So just stay away from that shit and just put up with it, bro. I mean, the pain's there for a fucking reason. So you might not be feeling the pain, but when you take aspirin, your body's still feeling the pain, and you're still getting stressed, and you're still getting that cortisol response from that high fucking pain. So stop being a pussy. Don't take that painkiller shit all the time. I went with kratom for a while to deal with joint pain, and it's great. I mean, you get high. You know, Me being a substance abuser, I love getting high. So with kratom, I'll take a little bit. I'm like, oh, it takes away my pain. I wonder what more is gonna do. So I'll take more. And then eventually my body just hurts more than it ever has. I'm like, what the fuck? Even when I take kratom, I just feel gross. My body hurts. And so I eventually come off of it, and then you go through fucking opiate withdrawal. So just stay away from all that shit, man. How do you pay taxes as a big guy? I don't. Don't tell the IRS that, but I literally don't. Favorite stack on cycle. Um, so I have found in the past, one of my favorite stacks was, I mean, if I go anything over 300 tests, I just don't like it. I don't like a lot of cycles, man. High, I don't like a high androgenic load. Like my body doesn't like it. So I've run into this issue with a couple coaches I've had. They've tried to have me take like 400 tests, 300 primo, 20 milligrams of fucking Anavar every day. I'm like, bro, that's like 5 times what I'm taking now. I can't handle that. I'll lose my fucking mind and my body will just go nuts, bro. Like my blood work right now is literally flawless. It's literally flawless. Like, and if you guys don't believe me, I mean, I can literally send it to you. It's literally flawless, except my testosterone is really high. Other than that, flawless. That's because I don't fuck my body up. I have 15 years of lifting behind me before I started taking anything. So my body responds. My body is a hyper responder to shit. And you honestly don't need a lot of stuff. A lot of people use steroids and stuff like that as a replacement for hard work. And that's just absolutely not going to work. You can take all the steroids in the world, and if you have a shitty diet and you don't lift hard, you're going to look like a bag of shit. And that's what you see. Most people who take steroids look like dog shit because they're taking a lot of steroids. And first of all, your body only has so many androgen receptors. Like think of like beads on a countertop, little tiny holes. Well, you have these little tiny beads, like you know that game, whatever the fuck, where you land the beads in the holes. Those tiny ones are steroid or molecules, right, of all the androgens you're taking, and your body only has so many of those little slots. Well, it's gonna fill in all those little slots, get it right, like you have that little fucking board with sand or whatever, and those little tiny holes, boom, boom, boom. Now those holes are filled. Well, now you have a lot of fucking particles floating around where they're like, what are we going to do? Let's go fuck shit up in this dude's body, bro. You're going to get pimples. You're going to get bloating. You're going to get liver damage, heart damage, kidney damage, because all those tiny little non-selective androgens are going to go in your body and just start wreaking havoc. So there really isn't a need to take more than your body can handle. A lot of people go overboard, and there's, like I said, absolutely no need. You're just an idiot, and you're probably gonna look like shit anyway. Right now, I'm only taking 300 tests, allegedly, um, and I look like this, right? So I look better than most people who are taking a lot more, and that's because I make sure I get all my nutrients in and all that. So basically, in summary, my favorite stack is as little as you can possibly take. Stay away from tren. So stay away from tren. Stay away from all that other shit. Take test, human growth hormone, and primo and anavar. If you're going to take anavar, start at 5 milligrams sublingual underneath your tongue, dissolved at 5 milligrams. Anybody else who disagrees with me is just simply wrong, and they look like shit. Probably I look better than them, and I'm better looking, and I'm more intelligent. My voice is sexier, so they're wrong. So 5 milligrams, take that sublingually underneath your tongue. You're going to feel that. If you don't feel that, you just are like one of those people who smoke weed for the first time. They're like, I don't feel anything. Well, that's because you're an idiot and you don't know what the fuck's going on in your body. So maybe fix that first. And 5 milligrams sublingual. Try that for like a week. Okay. And if you're going to do cycles, start at 200. Long cycles are better. Don't do short cycles. Start at 200 milligrams of test for a month. You're going to notice a difference. If you don't, once again, you suck and you're an idiot. So 200 milligrams for a month, and then bump that up to 300 after a month. Okay. See how that feels. And you're going to fucking feel it. And if you don't, you're an idiot. And bump that 5 milligrams up to 10 milligrams of anavar. And if you're taking primo, start at 100 milligrams of primo, but I wouldn't start with primo and test. I would just start at test and have some ancillaries on hand. So like anastrozole, have that and get your fucking blood work done. Anyway, so my favorite stack is, like I said, what's going to work best for you, which is as little as possible. I would say a really, really solid stack that nobody can disagree with is solid would be 300 test, 200 primo, and, 5 to 10 milligrams anavar sublingual. Take it underneath your tongue. The benefits of that is it skips the first pass of your liver, and it goes right to your skeletal muscle as opposed to hanging around in your bloodstream. It's a lot better on your body. And honestly, you can take anavar 5 milligrams or to 10 milligrams if you take it sublingually all year. It's not as bad for your body as even fucking aspirin. And people, motherfuckers, be taking that shit every day. So um, that is, I'd say, my favorite and the best. What got you into bodybuilding? Being insecure, being insecure with my size, if I'm going to be quite honest. Not liking what my body looked like, and having fucked up joints. So I've always been pretty vain. When I was a kid, my dad bullied me for being a little tub of lard. He would haze me in the front lawn and spray me with the hose. Trauma, a little trauma moment. But so that really fucking got me to the point where I'm like, I have to look good, right, to please my father. And so that became a massive part of my identity. And eventually it stopped being that. And it was more for me just like I need to have some sort of linear progression in my life. And bodybuilding was a good way to do that. Because not only is the gym meditative, I go there to clear my mind out, but also, you get your anger out, you meditate. It's fun. It's a good place to meet people. And I can go there and I can get bigger, I can get stronger, and have some form of linear progression that I can some foundation for my confidence, because when everything else is haywire, you don't think you're going anywhere. You live in just like a mist. You feel like you're on autopilot. You're in a deluge. Everything's just like you're like living in molasses. You at least can look back and be like, you have some sort of linear progression in your life. You understand what I'm saying? So bodybuilding was great for me for that. I haven't always been trying to do bodybuilding specifically. In the past, I'd done everything: CrossFit, running, powerlifting. But I really got into bodybuilding, like actual bodybuilding, after I got out of prison. Because, a man who chases two rabbits catches neither one. I was trying to be a hybrid athlete, and I was cut up decently. I had okay size, and I wasn't really great at anything. I was very strong. I could do calisthenics great, but I wasn't getting as big as I would have liked. So to get as big as I would have liked, to get as big as I like, I have to do stuff that people who want to get as big as possible do, which is bodybuilding. So that's what got me into it, was just a rationalization process. I want to get as big as possible, bodybuilding. There you go. And knee surgeries. So I couldn't really do a lot of the training that I did beforehand because my knees were so jacked up. So, but what I can do is I can do leg press. I can do Bulgarian split squats. I can do lunges. I can do hamstring curls. I can do leg extensions. And I can eat a lot of food, and I can take testosterone. So it was a way for me to channel all of that stuff into another outlet. And I like being good at things. If I'm going to do something, I like to be good at it. So what would you remain positive? How would you remain positive after being laid off? Freedom, brother. Guess what, dude? Hey, it already fucking happened, dude. There's nothing you can do about it. You got fucking laid off. And guess what? You got that burden laid off your shoulders. You don't have to fucking work that job anymore. You probably fucking hated it. And now you have what? An ocean, a sea of limitless possibilities that lie before you. You have a chance to redefine yourself. You have a chance to pull back, recenter, recalibrate, and move forward. Observe, orient, decide, and act, brother, the OODA loop. Okay? You have a chance to do that. You have a chance to pursue something that you didn't know that you wanted to. You have a chance to build new skills. It's like going to a new school when you're in a fucking elementary school. You can go by, when I was going to another school, I'm like, I'm gonna go by a different name. I'm gonna go by CJ because my fucking middle initials were Christopher James. I'm gonna go by CJ. I'm gonna dress this way. I'm gonna wear this color JanSport backpack instead. None of it ended up playing out. I ended up just being the weird kid. So, but you have the chance to do that. You have the chance to redefine yourself, dude. So there's a lot of fucking positives, bro. Dude, some of the most well-off people in the world blow their brains out because everything's a matter of perspective. And you just got to realize that. Okay. Stop focusing on all the negatives. Go to the gym, bro. Okay. Go to the gym. Do some meditation, do some writing. And once you have those foundations set, bro, where all of that stuff, all that negative energy that's floating in your head has an outlet for things, you have a lot more space in there for positivity. So do that. Anyway, that's how I would deal with it, bro. Like, how did I deal with facing going to prison? Well, I was like, okay, well, this is a chance for me to fucking overcome something. This is a chance. God has given me a chance right now to rise or fall. God has given me a chance to overcome an obstacle. And I took pride in that shit. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come out on the other end of this a better man. I'm going to have a smile on my face and have a positive mental attitude this entire time. And dude, some of the most pleasure in life comes from suffering, brother. If you like, what is greatness, dude? What is pleasure without suffering? Okay, God has given you an opportunity to fucking nut up, okay, and overcome this. Life is hard when it's easy for me. When I don't have anything going on, my mind fucking attacks me. But when I'm struggling and there's a deadline, or when there's shit going on and there's a lot of pressure on me and life sucks and I have all this other stuff going on and I'm facing prison, that's when I start getting fucking motivated, because I'm like, shit can't really get much worse. So I don't have to worry so much anymore. The worrying goes away because I'm like, I already got laid off. I'm already facing 46 years in prison. What's the worst that can happen now? Not much. So all that anxiety, that sword of Damocles that was hanging over my head, has disappeared because the sword has already fucking struck me. I'm like, okay, well, guess what? It's only up from here. Fuck yes, bro. Fuck yeah, it's only up from here. Okay? So think about it that way. Have you ever dipped your balls in soy sauce in an attempt to taste it? Well, no, but I have tried to lick my own balls before. Not flexible enough, unfortunately. Marry me, you shit fuck. That's funny. I love you, babe. I love you very much. That's fucking hilarious. Shit fuck. God, the way you talk to me is just so beautiful. Max hip thrust, asking for a friend. I don't know, dude. There's no like really purpose to do max hip thrust, but I'd say, like, I don't know. I've never really tried it, but I can do 4 or 5 for reps. I don't know. I've never really tried doing a max hip thrust. I feel like that's a really quick way to injure yourself. There's just some exercises you really shouldn't try to do 1 rep maxes on, and I think hip thrust is one of them. Also, you really shouldn't be doing 1 rep maxes on things. That's just a quick way to injure yourself. What are you doing it for? Ego? Yeah. Well, don't really know purpose. But yeah, I'd say like over 400 pounds for a 1 rep max on hip thrust. What helped you get out of your toxic phase? I'm still in it, brother. All right. I'm still in it. Uh, no. Fuck. It's hard because I've dipped in and out of it, bro. Hormones play a role. So if you're taking testosterone, you're taking steroids, for you people who are juicing out there, it's pretty, just know that you're probably a little crazier than you think. So, and I had to realize that too, that I'm a little crazier than I think. I'm still a little more fucked up in the head than I think. I'm a little more toxic than I think. And I got to step back and realize that. So I still can be a little toxic, especially if I let my emotions get the best of me. But the best way to step out of it is to obviously control your impulses. That's the biggest thing, because that's what toxicity is actions, and actions that are usually the result of emotions. So if you have a good handle on your emotions, then you're probably not going to be very toxic. If you can think your actions through, and you can actually do things deliberately as opposed to sporadically and without much thought, then you're probably not going to be very toxic. If you're making stupid choices at that point, it's just because you're stupid and a bad person. But I'm guessing, since you're asking this question, you're not probably a terrible person. You're trying to be better. So, like I said, writing, having some fucking self-confidence, building up your self-confidence, getting rid of that negative self-talk, because usually toxicity is the result of insecurity, and also the result of toxic patterns that you learned from childhood. And to get rid of those, you have to write those down so you can understand better. Write your thought patterns down so you can look at them and be like that, so you can look at them objectively, get all those nasty thoughts out of your head. You build some confidence. Whatever you're insecure in, which you are insecure in some things, figure out what exactly that is. If you have people in your life that are toxic, get them out or set up boundaries. So that's what I would say. What made you decide to get out of the military? Honestly, biggest thing was knee pain. My knees fucking killed me. I mean, they just hurt so fucking bad all the goddamn time. They were so, and I was a team leader. I'm not going to like go to the doctor, and get surgery. So my knees hurt me really bad. That was the biggest thing. I'm like, my knees can't really take a whole lot more of this. My body was just killing me, bro. And the military was getting to the point where there was just a lot of pussies coming in, bro. I mean, everybody says this, like, oh, my generation was blah, blah, but it's just like that, bro. I mean, society leaks into the military. You have all these little weirdo pussies who join the military, and you can't really do much about it, bro. Like there was a lot more people talking to chaplain, like those guys were hazing me. It's like, motherfucker, I just made you do 20 push-ups because you did something retarded. That's not hazing. Even if it is hazing, some amount of hazing is good. Literally, like hazing is not bad. But when hazing turns into abuse, that's bad. Like tying people up in mattresses and tossing them off the third deck. That is bad. Throwing beer bottles at people while they're naked and wearing body armor. That's probably bad. Depends on the context and if people are laughing and having a good time. Beating the shit out of people for no reason, that's bad. Beating the shit out of people for a good reason, that's okay. But the military was getting to the point where you couldn't really do anything. You couldn't punish people. And the thing is, you got to understand, the only way you can really teach somebody who's 18, full of testosterone and has an ego, is by hurting them. That's pretty much the only way you can do it, is by making them feel pain and making them uncomfortable. Now, there's obviously different levels of that, but it was going to the point where you couldn't even make people uncomfortable because they were just like, oh, I'm going to go tell chaplain. So, I mean, the whole atmosphere of the military was just degrading, and I didn't like it. It was degrading. It was declining. My knees hurt. I'm like, I'm out. Best memories of the military. Oh, dude. I mean, fuck, dude. It depends on what, like, going out and just having a good fucking. Okay, so Thailand was fucking fun, bro. I mean, Thailand was a good time. Obviously, just hanging out with the bros and just doing dumb shit, bro. Like hopping off the ship and there being like a bunch of people going like "Bing Lao Song Dong Lang Ding" and like trying to sell us shit. And like one time they were selling us tasers. Very dumb choice. So me and my buddies bought a bunch of tasers on the spot and just had started having taser fights in Thailand. That shit was fun, bro. Like just doing that, going to the bar, getting rowdy. And shit was so cheap, bro. You just felt like a millionaire. So I mean, that shit was fun as fuck. And on top of that, like, bro, just doing some good training, bro. Like going to the field, doing op 4, and it only being me and like 8 of my other homies, all decent. We've all been in the military for a decent amount of time. There's no bullshit, no superiors. It was just us basically out in the wilderness, living by our own rules, staging mock executions, looking for snipers, repelling fake fucking assaults by a bunch of retarded infantrymen. I mean, that shit was fun as fuck, bro. So in training one time, our job was to, so I was like leading this little op 4 group, whatever. And we were in this building and we were like, all right, we got to defend ourselves against these guys, against these fucking 2-5 or whoever the fuck was assaulting us. Or this might've been an ITB. I don't remember. Those particulars don't matter. The story's funny. So I'm like, all right, bro. So, the entrance to the building was like at the very bottom of the stairwell. You open the stairwell breach, you look up left, and that's where we were, right? So there was a stairwell at the very top. So I was at the very top of the stairwell, bro, when these guys breached it. I had pulled my pants down and I was giving it bat wings with my nutsack, bro. So they come in, boom, look up, and they just see my nutsack at the top of the fucking stairs, and they're like, get down. I'm like, and I run inside the fucking building, bro. And I'm like, all right. I put one guy in the closet. So they're moving up. I put one guy in the closet. And then there's this freaking fake sheep that I had this guy freaking like start humping the sheep, bro. So they enter this room and you just see one of my homies with his pants down, bro, humping that, not actually hard and fucking the sheep. That'd be weird. But he was humping this fake sheep. When they came in, these guys just were like, what the fuck is going on? And, and he was humping this fake sheep. I had one of my buddies running around just screaming, bro, just throwing these guys for a loop. And then, so once they freaking got my buddy down, he was humping the sheep and they tackle him, bro. And he's just like squirming, trying to get the sheep. He's like screaming, my wife, my wife. He's trying to go grab the sheep. And then while he's grabbing them, one of my homies opens the closet, runs over to this guy. The guy pulls around, just muzzle thumps him in the head. He goes, oh, fucking hits the ground. Oh, that was fucking funny, bro. It was just a funny, stupid situation. And in training, like in boot camp too, bro, just seeing people get hazed for the dumbest shit. Like there was this dude who was, they were talking in line for pull-ups. Like before every meal, we had to do pull-ups. And so there's this guy talking in line. So this drill instructor rolls up to this dude and he's like, come here. And he freaking comes up to him, grabs him, pulls him to the side, and he grabs the other recruit he was talking to. And he's like, scream, this recruit has no friends. Will you be my friend? So this guy's screaming, This recruit has no friends. Will you be my friend? At the top of his fucking lungs for like 30 minutes, bro. And while this is going on, there's other drill instructors walking by. He's screaming, and this other kid has to just sit there like this and be like, this recruit has no friends. Will you be my friend? And so it's just the funniest shit to watch, bro. I mean, honestly, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen was in fucking boot camp, dude. The biggest human rights violations are so funny. He was having this guy scream that into his fucking face. And these other drill instructors are walking by. They thought it was obviously funny, and they walk by and they're like, so this guy ends up having like 5 or 6 drill instructors screaming in his face while he's screaming in the other guy's face. He just starts breaking down and crying. This recruit has no friends. Will you be my friend? This guy just broke mentally. So that shit was funny. Another time which was funny was yeah, whatever. We had like these company retards, like the 1 or 2 guys in the company who in boot camp who were just like absolute retards. Everybody had them. Like, so they would have little retard competitions. They'd bring like the company retard or the platoon retard to other platoons on other decks and just have them do like little retard competitions, you know, like do shit that they were really bad at. And whoever was the worst at it got hazed. So that shit was just funny to watch. Um, and other best times, bro. Yeah, dude, just freaking chilling with the homies, man. And just so many different various circumstances. Training, doing really cool training, man. Like some of the cool training I've done with my buddies, bro, and just felt very serene, dude. It just felt very serene when you're doing really cool stuff and you're very confident in yourself and you know your buddies for a long time. You're in cool environments and you're doing cool shit, bro. That's honestly some of the funnest shit ever. Some of the funnest shit ever, bro. Move on to the next one. Views on having children versus not. Have kids, bro. I mean, I'm not the best person to talk to about this. So, have kids. If you want kids, have kids. You should obviously wait until you're ready. But everybody says that. But you know, like I said, everything's a matter of perspective. Your life isn't going to end right when you have kids. But if you got a bunch of fucking problems and stuff, you got to know that you're going to pass that off to your kids. So, um, if you're in the process of maybe having a kid, maybe start trying to figure your shit out. I think that's a big thing because you don't want to pass on the same stuff that made you fucked up. You know, you have an opportunity to bring life into the world, and that's true immortality. That's what we were put here to do, was to carry on our legacy. All the money you're going to make, all the stuff you're going to make doesn't really mean anything. You see all these sad old people inside of retirement homes who were probably very rich at one point, but they don't have anybody who loves them to take care of them. So the last 10, 15 years of their existence is sad and pitiful, which is sad and pitiful. They have nobody who loves them. And that's why I think old gay men are very sad. I think that's why being gay is just sad, man. Like, a lot of times it's a result of childhood sexual trauma, and that's very depressing, but it's not a lifestyle that we should encourage because it's sad, man. It's truly sad. It's not just gross or anything. It's just sad. Um, because you're going to live your final years with nobody to take care of you, nobody that really loves you, probably. You're probably going to die single and alone, most likely. And that's fucking depressing. You have nothing to look forward to. At least if you're going to have kids, you have something to look forward to, which is looking at the product of everything that you've ever done. If you know anything about epigenetics, you know that you change your DNA expression throughout your life. Every breath you take, every single time you talk to somebody, every instrument you learn, every language you become fluent in, every weight you lift, every pound of muscle you gain, every ounce of food that you eat, it all gets encoded in your DNA. And the moment you come inside of a girl, her egg also is a result of everything that she's ever done and ever been. And not just that, everybody who's ever came before her, it's a result of everything they've ever done and ever been. And same thing with you. You are not 50% your parents. You're not 50% each parent. You're 100% everybody ever. Get that through your head. You are 100% everyone who's ever been in your family line. Not 50%, not 10%. You are 100% all of them. 100% of every single one of them is inside of your DNA. And that's a beautiful and amazing thing. And that is something that's unbelievable, almost. So you have a chance to pass on all of this beautiful experience. You have a chance of immortality, basically. And you pass on immortality for everyone that's ever been, you know, every action they've ever done, who that person is when when that semen is created is immortalized into an individual, and that's passed on and passed on and passed on. So that's a beautiful thing when you can look at your child, I think, and see that this person is a result of all of these things. And I created this person, you know, People love feeling powerful. People love feeling like God. Well, that's the closest thing we have to it, is creating human life. It's creating somebody who's going to influence the world in untold, unlimited ways. Every breath they take, every person they say hi to, every tiny change in this butterfly effect of the world that we live in is a result of everything you've ever done. It's pretty profound. So I think having kids is a beautiful thing. If you don't want to have kids, I think if you don't ever want to have kids, I think that's sad and depressing. I'd say why carry on living? You know, so you can enjoy these fleeting moments of existence. It's like you just want to be on your phone all the fucking time, bro. It's like you already know that we find a satisfaction in things that produce tangible results. Like that's why working a service job is depressing. But if you were to actually spend time on a project creating something that's very gratifying and satisfying. Now, there's nothing more gratifying, satisfying, fulfilling, I think, than, like I said, working on something that ends up producing something. Well, what about a child? You know? So that's my view on that. Gay son or thought daughter? Neither. I would just euthanize myself. Okay, I'm going to go to the YouTube and I'm going to look at the questions now. Okay. Favorite slur? I'm not going to say it on here, but probably, oh, wait, actually, moon cricket. Moon cricket. That's for black people. That's a classic one. That's some classic cultured racism right there. Moon cricket. Does it jiggle? Yes. Yes, it does jiggle. SM song. It does. Were you a terminal lance? No, I was not a terminal lance. I got promoted to corporal like 6 months to a year before I got out. So I got out at corporal. And somebody said, so how come muscular men don't do enough cardio? Motherfucker, I guarantee I do more cardio than you. You're probably just chilling in your house and the only cardio you do is running your fucking mouth. Okay. I do more cardio than you. I'm a fucking machine. I just don't run a lot, but I do hill running with weight on. What's up, fellow big guys? What is up, my G? Anyway, hey, there's not a whole lot more questions, guys. Whoever's watching this, if you guys want to ask questions in the fucking chat, bro, ask questions. I'll do this for another 5 minutes. Name 10 books. Way the Superior Man, A Few Good Men, Ordinary Men. We'll do As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, The Untethered Soul. We'll do War on the Eastern Front by Charles de Gaulle, who was a Nazi in World War II. One of the best books you'll ever freaking Leon Degrelle. If you guys haven't read Leon Degrelle, bro, read Leon Degrelle if you want a good account of World War II. The guy's a prolific writer. And his books are just so fucking. You can really visualize everything. It's some of the best books you'll ever read. The Halo series. I started reading that when I was a kid. Guns Encyclopedia, first edition or ninth edition. I have that over there too. We'll do Traction, which is if you're trying to get into like selling and stuff. Traction is great. If you're trying to start your own business, would highly recommend that book. The One Thing, that's another good book as well. It really helped change my life and how I view self-improvement. So, because a man who chases two rabbits catches neither one. If you're always focused on changing a million things about yourself, you're just going to end up going crazy. So just focusing on one thing at a time will produce exponential results. That's a good book too. And Go College, I think that's only 9. Whatever, fuck you. Go to College or French Foreign Legion. Why are those the only 2 options you have? That's my question. Why are those the only 2 options you have? I feel like you should have more options. But if it was between those 2, you're 23 years old and Irish. That's very relevant, the fact that you're Irish. I would say, French Foreign Legion would be cool, bro. But you're probably not going to go to war with them. You're not going to get any like benefits when you get out. But bro, honestly, for the Lord, dude, do it. Send it to the French Foreign Legion. I'm sure. Pick the most difficult out of the 2, bro. You can go to college anytime in your life. But right now, you're 23 years old. Go to the French Foreign Legion. Okay. Try it out. If you don't make it, then you don't fucking make it. But it's gonna be a cool fucking experience. If you can actually travel, you're not a felon or whatever. Go to the fucking in your joint, dude. If my joints weren't fucked up, bro, I'd still be in the military right now. I'd still be doing a bunch of shit like that. if my knees weren't so they weren't so jacked up back then. Um, and the military is a good place, bro. If obviously, don't die for Israel, don't die for Israel. Thing is, a lot of guys who are saying that are honestly just pussies. I agree. Don't join the military. Like right now is probably not the best time to join the military. But there's just so many pussies, absolute fucking pussies out there who are just so dialed, who would break under the slightest amount of physical pressure, who would cry if somebody got in their fucking face, who are just out here putting on a front, being like, "Oh, don't die for Israel. Oh, you're not. You sound like you've never been on a 2A range." It's like, motherfucker, I would bend you in half, dude. I would fucking break you. And most of these people are so fragile mentally and so frail and so stupid. Most people are. But just because you're going to sit here and make an excuse for not joined the military, motherfucker, you didn't join because you didn't want to die for Israel. You're not doing cool shit now. You're not doing hard, difficult shit now. What's your excuse? You're sitting behind a fucking desk for most of your days. You're talking shit online for 6 hours a fucking day. What's your excuse for not being a man now? Because you don't want to be a man for Israel? Okay, most of these guys just hide cowardice behind this shit. I don't want to join the military because I would have punched my general struck in the face. I don't want to die for Israel. The military is stupid. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of fucking truth to a lot of that stuff. But so fucking what, bro? Most people don't join the military because they want to fucking die for they love our country. They join the fucking military because it's badass, because they want to go kill people. Newsflash, most people join the military because they want to go shoot other people in the face. They want to go kill other people. That's why people join the military. That's why I joined, okay? That's why most people who join infantry jobs, that's why they join. Not because they love our country. Okay, there's a reason why people join the military no matter what country you're in. There's a reason why people are aggressive. There's a reason why men go to war no matter what. It's because it's in our DNA. Okay? It's because it's fucking manly. Going to war is manly. Okay? I'm not saying we should go kill children or anything like that. And that's why most people end up leaving with a lot of fucked up shit, because they know they didn't fight for a good cause. But the truth is that we still want to go fight. You know, men want to go fight. Men want to go beat the shit out of people. We have this desire to prove ourselves in the theater of combat. And whether that be weightlifting, whether that be combat sports, whether that be war, everybody has this drive. So I don't give a shit if you want to go die for Israel or not, bro. The military is still a good place to go fucking test your mettle, okay? And people are going to die. Maybe instead of sitting here and saying, "Oh, don't go die for Israel," maybe make some fucking change. Maybe put your voice out there. Maybe go fucking spread the message. Maybe go run for office. Maybe go all these guys. We should start, offing politicians. Well, motherfucker, maybe start do it. Put your money where your mouth is, pussy. Okay, start fucking doing it then. Okay, instead of just being all talk. I'm not saying I'm not advocating for killing anybody on live streaming right now. I'm just saying a lot of people are just absolute fucking cowards. And you can see it in their fucking eyes when you get in their face and you talk to them. You can see that there is nothing behind them, that they have no fire behind their eyes, and that they're just a bunch of weak-bodied, weak-willed cowards. You can hear it in their voice. You can hear it in the way they talk. Okay? How to deal with people who have no ambition. Stay away from them. Stay away from people who have no ambition, because you're not going to rise to the occasion. You're going to fall to the lowest common denominator. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of weak-willed people, you're going to become weak-willed. And I know a lot of people have this desire to, like, I'm going to go bring up my friend group because it makes me feel good about myself. I'm going to go improve people. But that's not going to happen. That's going to last a little while. Then you're going to become an idiot. You're going to become weak-willed too. So stay away from those people, or once again, set boundaries. You don't have to deal with people, bro. Fun fact. You don't actually have to deal with people. You can literally just choose to not deal with people. You can choose to not talk to people. That's an option that you're provided. So if you don't like somebody, don't be around them. Don't talk to them. Who cares if you've known them for 20 years? Who cares if they're a family member? You don't owe anybody anything. If you don't like somebody, don't talk to them, bro. Okay, you don't need anybody else. I'm not saying be a stigma and stick to yourself. I'm saying choose your friends wisely. Choose the people you surround yourself wisely, because your life energy is precious. And do not give your pearls to pigs lest they trample it underfoot, brother. Okay? Don't give your valuable time and energy to people who are just going to fucking waste it, which is weak-willed people and stupid people. Was Army 11 series. What 03 series were you? 0311, brother. People think I was a 31 because I have a chunky fucking frame. I look like a fucking brick. But no, I wasn't a 31. Though I might as well have been, because I was a saw gunner for my first fucking 2 years in. 2.5 years. I was a saw gunner and I carried an M16 on my back and I carried my A barrels and an AT4. So I carried more weight than almost fucking anybody else. It was fucking bullshit. But I'm not just saying that. I mean, you could ask. I'm not just saying that either. I carried more weight while I was in. I carried more weight than nearly anybody else. The thing is like, oh, what about mortars? Motherfucker, they weren't going on every hike with us. They weren't moving as much as us. For how much we moved, I was carrying more weight than anybody, pound for pound. That was only 165 fucking pounds. 150 when I joined. So yeah, being a saw gunner fucking blows, bro. Especially when you have to be your own A gunner. That shit is fucking ass, bro. I can trace my knee issues to that, I think. So I don't have an AB. What's an AB? What's an AB? This army lingo, this HUA lingo, I don't understand it. Um, anyway, so I think that was about an hour, 55 fucking minutes. So good talk, guys. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in for the next time, next week at some point. I'll give you guys a heads up. Ammo bearer. Oh yeah, I don't have an ammo bearer either. Yeah, no, as a saw gunner, you don't. Being a saw gunner is freaking ass, bro. It's worse being a machine gunner. But I didn't like the machine gunners that much anyway. 0311 till I die, brother. All right, dude. You guys have a freaking good time, man. Once again, I appreciate you guys. Love all you guys who watched. And you guys have a fucking good day. Stay motivated. And peace.